Hi everyone, my name is Jenny with Beautiful Feet Wellness. Welcome. Today we're going to be doing a yoga practice. This is more of a recovery yoga. So if you really kind of found that you beat yourself up yesterday, you're feeling kind of achy today, you don't know what it is, might be a good opportunity. If it's your rest day, this would be a good one for you. So right off the bat, we're going to need a pillow. It's also April and there's snow on the ground, so you can't do this outside, but I've got my nice snowflake pillow. And you'll need a towel, like a beach towel is perfect, or a strap. I have a belt. This is my belt. And it works just as well as a strap. If you actually have a yoga strap, even better. But these are the props that you're going to need today. You're going to absolutely, you really will want them. It'll feel so much better if you have them. So go ahead, pause the video, grab it, come back, and we'll meet on the mat. Alrighty, go ahead and grab your pillow to start right off with the bat. And come onto it to sit. Great, and this will just prop you up off the ground a little bit so we can get those knees out of our chest and closer to the ground. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. And then just begin to take your hands to your knees and begin to take a gentle spinal movements here. So arch, roll your spine back, and then lift your chest. Little arch in your back coming forward. Good. Rounding that spine, sending it back. Good. And coming back forward again. Lifting your chest. Just rounding through. Rising up. Good, rounding through. And rising up. Good, come to just a neutral spine. And then you're going to begin to take circles with your chest. So coming to that knee and around the front and shining through and then sending it back. Coming through the other side, you can get your shoulders kind of involved here, but make sure it's coming out of your ribs or your chest, so you're sending that back as you round back through. Just really working that spine, getting into that back. Good, and going the other direction now. Really articulate through each side. Good, and then coming back to neutral, rolling your shoulders back. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, twist open, hand comes behind you, one hand to the front knee. Stay up nice and tall, twist a little more from your shoulders. Good, inhale back up through center, exhale to the other side. Good, inhale back up through center, exhale, twist and open. Really finding length with that back hand, using this front hand to twist you open a little more. Inhale, back through center, exhale, other side. Good, inhale, back through center, exhale, arms come down. Perfect. You can continue to sit on your pillow here, or you can take it out from underneath you. Take your legs out long. Good. And then just place your hands behind you, roll your shoulders back and together, lift your chest up. So if this feels good, you can just stay here and open up through your chest. Or if you like, you can point your toes and begin to lift your bum up off the ground. You can also come into a bridge here. Just finding opening through that front body. And when you're ready, release back down, release those hands. Good. Release those legs out in front of you. Roll your wrists one direction. Good. Roll them the other direction. Good. Really flex your hands, shine them bright, clench your fist, open and close. Good. Just get a little shake out. Perfect. And then go ahead and take one leg up, nice and close, sitting up nice and tall, making sure you're nice and even on your bum. You're not leaning one way or the other. Use this time to just sit up nice and tall. Good, and when you're ready, you can take this foot on the outside of that leg. Make sure that these toes are pointing straight up. Leg is flat on the ground, not here. Good. And trying to get this foot that's over here, your bent leg foot, flat on the ground. Sit up nice and tall once again. Take your arm behind you and use the opposite arm. You can hook it on the outside of this knee, using your straight arm to pull yourself even taller, using this bent arm to press your chest open to the side. Good. And if this is not, you can't get your elbow on the outside, feel free to just wrap. That's totally fine. Good, and release. Taking this foot back up over the top, and then just letting that knee fall out to the side. Good, begin to inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over this front leg. And again, like I said before, we're gonna hinge from our hips instead of rounding our back. We're gonna take the whole unit forward. There we go. Now, if you have your strap handy, which I mentioned earlier, feel free to just lasso that foot. You might even get more of a stretch doing this rather than just hanging onto your leg somewhere. So if you have it, use it. And then allow you to just get closer, and then you just, you can start here. You can walk your hands closer. Eventually you might be able to grab both hands. But see how I'm kind of like rounding my back and my shoulders have come up to my ears, trying to get to this position? That means that today I need to back out. So I come back, I hinge again from my hips, and maybe I'm just here, working on getting the shoulders down out of my ears, taking that tension out of my neck. It's really not necessary, because then otherwise we're going to have to work for like 20 minutes to undo that at another point in time. So let's just not do that. Breathe here. When you're ready, go ahead and back out of that stretch. Good. Taking this knee up and then sliding it out next to the other one. Maybe taking some foot movements here, whatever you need. And when you're ready, take the other leg up. I literally like to help it. Take some of that tension out. Okay. You can sign up and do a HIIT class another day with me. Today we're doing some recovery, all right? So be nice to your leg. Bring it up nice and close. Give it a hug if you'd like. Give it like a real hug. But sit up nice and tall. Be thankful for your leg, for your knee. Mine's undergone a lot recently, so I'm very thankful. It doesn't hate me completely. And when you're ready, go ahead and take that foot up over the other one. See how my foot is flat on the ground? It's not like this, right? So work on getting that foot nice and flat on the ground. Sit up nice and tall. That's your base. You need a strong foundation. And that is also true in yoga. So foundation is here. Both sit bones sit up nice and tall. Take this arm behind you, same arm as your bent leg. Place it behind you, even taller. Take the arm right here, your opposite arm, and hook it on the outside of your leg. Now remember, if you can't get that hook, feel free to just hug it. I'm going to turn back ways. I will be facing you. Open up that chest. Good, and release your hand. Release your foot back on the other side. Let that knee fall open now. You might have to readjust. That's totally fine. It's called movement. Okay? So if you want, take that strap, lasso your foot, sit up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back to begin with, and then face that foot. So we're not going over the middle. We're literally turning our body to face and go over this front leg. So nice big inhale, find length. On your exhale, begin to fold forward. You can walk your hands. That's the other thing that's good about having a strap is that your hands can be even. So often whenever we don't use a strap, we'll reach and we can grab it with one hand, but we can't grab it with both hands. So we'll grab it with one hand, but then see how I'm kind of uneven here? Here I can get an even stretch. It'll help me get closer to that position that we want where we literally grab with both hands. Yes? Again, thinking about hinging from your hips, folding in half rather than rounding over. So just a reminder in case no one told you, the use of props is really, it doesn't mean that you're not as flexible or you can't do it. It just means you're being smart and you might actually get a better stretch if you use them. I've been practicing yoga for a really long time and I often forget that I can use props and they actually deepen my stretch. They make me more even. They take tension out of my body that I don't need, that I've been holding because I'm forcing myself to do something that I'm maybe, today my body's we just ran a mountain yesterday. Can we not try to touch our toes with both hands wrapped around it? So it doesn't mean anything. It means you're being smart with your body. Use your tools, right? You can do all the math without the calculator, but oh my gosh, right? So much easier if you just use the stinking calculator. Okay, go ahead and back out. There's my rant on props for the day. Alright, take this leg nice and long, and you guessed it if you hadn't already. Adjust your sit bones. Remove any flesh or anything out from underneath you so you can sit up even taller. Inhale. Find your prop. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Exhale. Good. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Flex those feet. Lasso them if you'd like. Sit up tall and begin to hinge forward. Hinge forward. So the fun thing about this prop, for me at least, is if you'll figure out your gait. And so because I have the prop here, it shows me that I need to, kind of move my feet so that they're pressing firmly into this prop. Whereas I was just pressing with the outside of my foot into this strap. And I'm realizing oh, I kind of need to turn my foot to press flat into this prop, right? And I didn't know that about my gait, but over time, this will help me correct my feet and help me not have, different back issues or knee issues later in life, or even, soon down the road, because I'm correcting literally my, the way I'm stretching my muscles evenly, correcting my foot posture here, just in this pose, and I wouldn't have necessarily known that if I didn't have a strap, so. Breathe into your legs. Good, and release those feet. Go ahead, you can put your hands behind you or place them on your legs. We're just going to take some foot movement here. So bending one, flexing the other, straightening one, flexing the other, however you want to look at it. Good, and we're going to draw some foot circles here. So feet go out to the side, dragging around the ground, back up, and flex, out to the side. Good, other direction, point down, roll out, coming back up, flex, good. Just take some windshield wiper here, side to side. Good, and any little leg out, shake out that you want to do. Go ahead and come on over all fours, blah, 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 words. All right, take that pillow out from underneath you. Here we are in all fours. Go ahead and we're gonna take some cat-cow movements here, some cat-cow push-ups. So, arch your spine up towards the ceiling, and we're just gonna do typical cat-cow for now. And then let your belly hang loose. Exhale, arc your spine towards the ceiling. Inhale, fill up your belly. This time we're going to instigate the movement from your tailbone. So from right here, you're just going to tuck your tailbone. Let that roll all the way up your spine until it gets into your neck. And then from your tailbone, start here with that hip tilt and let it drop, opening up those ribs. And finally opening up through your forehead. Again, instigating that movement from the tuck of your tailbone, letting it ripple all the way up your spine until your head tucks. Starting again from your tailbone. Good, coming all the way up through your forehead. This time we're going to arch our spine up, sending it back for child's pose. Dragging our chest along the ground while coming back into that cow. Nice arch in that spine. Good. Arch it the other way, up towards the ceiling. Send it back for child's pose. Taking your chest along the ground and back up. Good. One more just like that. Good. Go ahead and take your entire body. You can instigate this movement from your hips or your shoulders, just taking some nice circles here. And go the other direction. Good, just letting those hips go side to side here. Some good weight into those hips. This is really satisfying in a downward dog. And now your shoulders. Just take some side to side movements here. Good. Go ahead and tuck your feet behind you, tuck your toes behind you. We're going to work out that foot a little bit, rocking back and forth. Good. And then just settling back in for a calf stretch. Perfect. Take that leg up and over to the side. Really flex. Maybe little pulses here. And place that foot flat on the ground. Toes face forward. Now you can't see my foot. That's what my toes are doing. And then take those hips. We've done this before. Take your hips. Shine them away from that outstretched leg. That's going to get you that stretch right in here. You don't even have to go down to your elbows, but if you want, feel free to come down here. Good, now, and taking that leg up. If you were on your elbows, hopefully you came back up to your hands. And take it all the way across your other leg, tucking those toes onto the ground. And then you're going to just lean into this hip that's closest to you, and you're going to look over your opposite shoulder at that back foot. And taking that foot up off the ground behind you, flexing it, opposite arm out, bird dog. Nice little abs here for a second. Breathe. Good, and dropping that back leg right underneath your hips. This arm that's lifted, take it up towards the ceiling and weave it through, sitting on your face, laying on your face. Good. On your next inhale, press into this hand and lift up that arm all the way to the ceiling and replace underneath your shoulders. Good. Working the other leg now. Take it back behind you, flexing those toes, putting it flat on the ground, and working out that foot for a minute. Oh. Good, settling back into the nice calf stretch. Awesome, when you're ready, we'll turn around just so you can see. You're going to take that foot up off the ground and bring it around to the side. Little baby pulses here if you want a little bit of extra, maybe see what that stretch feels like, really flexing that foot, and then place it flat down on the ground. So you can see my feet right about now. And then again, take those hips, turn them away to face away from that outstretched leg, and breathe. Again, you can drop down to your elbows here if you'd like. Good, and then taking that same leg up and around, tucking those toes on the ground, and then looking over your shoulder to look at that foot. Good, taking that leg out behind you, flexing your toes. So this bottom foot, you can be tucked or untucked, up to you. And then opposite hand from your outstretched leg here. Engage your core. We're doing some core work, yes. Nice gentle core work. You can check it off. You did stability and core today. Good, taking that back leg down underneath your hips. Inhale that arm up to the sky and exhale, weave it through. And on your next inhale, stretch it up towards the sky, unweave, and then place those hands right underneath you. Good. Take your hands out a little bit further in front of you. Spread your fingers as wide as you possibly can. Tuck those back toes under, send it up, downward facing dog. All right, so first downward dog for us today. So you're gonna bend those knees, called turboing your dog. Bend your knees, send your hips even further back, and then try not to move your hips, just straighten your legs. Good, and then also widen through those shoulder blades. So instead of being up in your ears, find some space there. Yes. And then if you want even more, begin to tuck those ribs in. Okay? We don't want to be like, hungry dogs where like our ribs are out here sticking up. No, tuck those in. So yoga is a practice, ever evolving. So you're always growing, always finding new things and poses to do, to try. Deepening your practice. Good. Inhale that right leg skywards. Exhale, bring it through for your lunge. Good, settle into your lunge here for a second. Breathe. And take your back foot, bring it in to meet your other one. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up. Hands come overhead. Baby back bend if you'd like here. And exhale, hands come down to your side and up in prayer position. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, just down to your side again. Perfect. Hands on your hips with the flat back. Fold forward. Good. Keep folding, dropping those arms all the way down. Taking your right foot back this time. Nice lunge on the other side. Good. And stepping that other foot back, chaturanga of your choice. So tuck those elbows into your side, just hover off the ground, and then pull it on through upward facing dog. Good. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Good. We're just going to take a flow. All right. So inhale, and as you exhale, begin to walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins, thighs, or the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands through heart center. Exhale. Drop your hands down to mountain pose. Inhale, arms back up. And exhale, arms down to your side. Inhale, arms, hands to your hips. Exhale, forward fold. Keep folding all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Jump or step your feet back, chaturanga. Coming all the way down to the ground this time. Roll your shoulders back. Lift up for cobra. You can be here or you can press up. Just make sure that your hips stay on the ground. Shoulders stay out of your ears. Not here. Here. Good. And release back down. Tuck your back toes, send it back as if you're coming into child's pose. And then lift those knees up off the ground, downward dog, here we are. Good, and then begin to walk your hands back to meet your feet. Forward fold, perfect. From here, if your feet are together, bring them about hip width apart, maybe wider if you need a sturdier base. Good, and then you're just gonna fold forward. You might start out with bent knees, so you can touch your toes. So however much you need to bend them, touch your toes. And then just begin to massage your feet by taking each little toe, just rubbing it between your fingers, and then placing it out a little straighter, a little longer. Okay, and just go toe by toe. Just rub it out, pick it up, place it back on the ground. Give it some love here. Breathe. Also, by keeping your legs bent this much, you're really getting a nice stretch for your low back, so no worries. We're not just playing with our toes here. This is so good. Wake up your feet. Be nice to them. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget your big toes either. Good. If your feet are all nice and splayed out, they should feel a little more alive, a little more awake. Go ahead and straighten those legs. If your hands come off the ground, that's okay. Grab opposite elbows and bring your elbows closer, your forearms closer to your ears. And then just begin to hang. And then from here, you just take a nice little sway side to side. With each exhale, you're just releasing some more of that tension.
Inhale, you're breathing more into your back, waking up your back body, maybe the back of those hamstrings. And exhale, just release a little bit more. The sway side to side helps your body just kind of relax. You can stay still, but notice how your body might just naturally start to clench up, hold on for dear life. So the little swing just kind of lets your body know it's okay, we're going to let this go. Good, and then release those hands. Maybe they're a little closer to the ground, a little more flat now. You never know. Hopefully you released a little extra there. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and just begin to roll on up, letting those arms be continuation all the way up. And exhale, drop those shoulders down. Hands to heart center. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself some love. Inhale. Arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Begin to walk your hands out. Good. And chaturanga. Tucking in those elbows. Coming up through upward dog. And then sending your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Maybe tucking those ribs in. Creating some width in your shoulders. Out of your ears. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, bring it through for your lunge. Inhale, come on up, high lunge. So there's a couple things here. Everyone can take a breath, and on your exhale, let it go. Now, if you find that you do a lot of this is going to really creep up in your back over time. It's not going to feel good. So bend that back knee so you're able to take those hips more in line where you want it, or that straight up. And then you might need to stay here. You might find like, oh, that feels pretty good right here. And just drop, where you can begin to keep that length, that posture you just found, and then begin to straighten that leg. See how my body didn't even really move? So sometimes we need to just come out, adjust, and then fix it, right? That's what we did with our downward dog earlier. Arms back up overhead if you dropped them to fix yourself. Drop those shoulders out of your ears. Good, and hands come down to frame your foot, dropping that back knee. Placing your left hand or fist on the ground. Inhale, up, twist. Good, release that hand, straighten your front leg, flex your front foot. Inhale, exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Half splits. It's really a terrible name for any stretch, anything involving splits, right? Breathe. Good. Take that leg back forward. Rise up off the ground with that back knee, or leave it, up to you. We're going to take that same twist. So inhale, arm reaches up. Maybe sink those hips a little lower. Good. Release your hand back down to the ground. This time you're going to take that back foot at that 45-degree angle. Sit down. Inhale, windmill it up. Warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten that front leg, straighten your arms overhead. Exhale, really press down. Good. Back into that warrior two. Take your shoulders down. Good. Flip your front hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Find the stretch. Breathe. And exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, press down. This time coming over for side angle pose. Arm can be here. your bottom arm can kind of rest on this top leg. Just don't dump into it. Still using it to press your chest open to the side. Good, nice energy going out this top hand. Knife edge of your back foot. If you'd like, you can take your hand to the outside of your leg or the inside. Up to you. Good. Inhale your self back to center. Back to that warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, release your hands. Good, roll your shoulders back. Inhale those arms back up, energize them. Exhale, going forward with that straight leg as far as you can. Forward, triangle pose. And can come to a block, the ground, anywhere along this front leg. Other arm goes up to 12 o'clock. Okay, check in with your toes. We spent all that time spreading them out. So spread them out right now. Both feet. Good. And think about this bottom hip, pulling this bottom hip forward, sending this top hip back. Good. You can look up at your top arm, look at me, let your head just hang. Okay. You might find some hope if you look at your top arm. And try to think about distributing that weight evenly between both your legs, not dumping into this front leg. On your next inhale, take this top arm up to bring yourself back up. Good. Move these toes forward. All toes face forward. Hands on your hips. Take a moment here. Feel victorious. Strong. Life is good. Good. Nice flat back. Fold forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Good. Hands out in front of you. Flat back here. So full posture would be your hands are in line with your feet and you just let your crown of your head reach towards the ground. You can grab opposite legs here. Just put your hands here. You have that pillow nearby. I don't suggest this because it's super sturdy, but if you were smart and you grabbed a couch cushion, that's plenty sturdy. Okay? So find your forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Breathe. Good. Everyone place your hands back underneath your face. Inhale that left arm up for a nice little twist here. And release. Put it under your face. Inhale, other arm up. Breathe. Good. Place that one back underneath your face as well. Take your hands to your hip with flat back. Inhale, come on up. Good. Now take the other foot out. Your left foot goes face that way. And I need to step my back foot in just a hair because I got somehow really wide. But step it in and then turn that heel out to a 30-degree angle. Good. Inhale, energize those arms. Here we are. And with straight legs, kick this hip out. Reach forward as far as you can. Triangle pose. Here we are. Remember, hand can go anywhere along that front leg, behind you, on a block, on the ground. Just make sure whenever you do that, see, I'm not that flexible, believe it or not. See how I kind of dumped into that leg? I want to make sure that my chest stays open. So I actually need to use my leg to lift up a little bit. Good. Breathe. Again, look up at that top hand for some hope.
Breathe it in. Think about that bottom hip coming closer to the screen. That top hip going further away. Weight in both feet. Maybe untuck those toes. Good. From here, use that top hand. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Good. And bend that new front leg. Should be your left. Inhale, straighten everything. And exhale, bend back down. Good. Flip your front hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Good. And exhale, come back to center. Inhale, straighten it all. Exhale, bend it all. Coming through for that side angle now. Again, really opening up your chest to the long side of your mat. That's the goal here. Breathe. Good. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Inhale once again, straighten everything. Exhale, press down. Come out of your shoulders. Inhale, straighten it all. Exhale, really press down. Good. Finding that nice power. Flipping that back heel up, come into your high lunge. Again, if you need to, bending that back knee, adjusting, and then straightening once again. Everybody inhale. Exhale. Yes, you can. Sink a little lower. Ah, it feels nice. A little shaky, but it feels so nice. Good. Let those hands come down. Place your right hand or fist on the ground, opening up for a twist. Good. Replacing that hand back on the ground. Letting your back knee come to your mat now. Straightening that front leg, popping up those toes. Nice stretch here. Maybe take an opportunity if you feel comfy. Roll those shoulders back and down. Breathe. Good. Coming forward again for that lunge. Placing your hand on the ground, opening up for that twist. Good. Replacing your hand on the ground. Go ahead and find your lunge. Take your foot back. Nice chaturanga this time. So come down to your hover and then release all the way to your mat. Roll your shoulders back as you lift up. Good. Tucking your toes under, sitting back as if you're coming into child's pose. Untucking those toes. Like real child's pose. Take it. Maybe now you might be a little closer. Your bum might be closer to your heels. So mission accomplished. I didn't say touching, I said closer. If you're touching, great. Go ahead and walk your hands over to one side and settle back into that child's pose. Good, walking yourself back through center, going to the other side now. Good, walking yourself back to center. Go ahead and come on up. Take it around onto your seat. Good, rolling the shoulders back. Find your pillow or your cushion. Find your strap or your towel. Make sure it's close by. And go ahead and roll on back down. Good, now that we're on your backs, go ahead and take that strap. Lasso your foot. This other leg, it can be flat on the ground. That's going to be a little bit easier. Outstretched, and if it's outstretched, really flex that foot so you ground that leg. You can even take your same hand to that outstretched leg. Make sure you're pressing it down. Okay. And then re-grab your strap. Again, maybe look at your foot. And then your strap, is it to where it can be flat on the ceiling? Because right there, maybe just the stretch you need. And your foot's not angled in like this, right? Or like weird like that. Flat on the ceiling. Work on fixing that gait. Your podiatrist would be so proud if you have one. Alrighty. Hopefully we're going to avoid you needing to have one if you don't already. And then you just walk those hands, as comfortable as you like. But remember, keep your shoulders out of your ears. Just really no need for that. Trying to keep that straight leg and just bringing it closer to your face. Breathe. Good, and then bend that knee. Bring it to your armpit, not into your chest. To your armpit. You might have to walk your hands up a little closer. You might have to hold on to your foot. That's totally fine, whatever you gotta do. Stretching out that hip. Good, and then as if we're coming into a pigeon on our back, you're just going to take this foot across your body. So you got a nice, you're looking at a nice straight line here. Your knees, it's already open to the side. We already did that, so go ahead and keep that hip opening up to the side as you just bring this foot closer to your face. And this might be where that strap comes in handy. Keeping the shoulders planted on the ground. Keep that foot nice and flexed, both of them. Still activating the bottom leg. Good. Release your strap. Oh, let that leg go long. Alright, other leg up. Here we go. If you kept this foot on the ground, so lasso your foot. Again, if you kept your foot here, great. Otherwise, outstretched. Flex your foot. Flex both feet, actually. Good. Nice straight leg here. Again, trying to get that foot off as if you're standing on the ceiling, nice and flat. And energize both legs. Inhale, you can leave it there or bring it close to your face. Just keep that straight leg. Good hamstring stretch here. If you feel so inclined, you can walk up your strap or your towel. Just keep your shoulders out of your ears. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, bend that knee, take it to your armpit. You probably have to walk your hands closer to that strap. Ooh. This is where an at-home yoga practice is really handy because you can do this in like shorts or like really baggy
pants, because sometimes if your leggings are getting a little tight, we're just going to assume you sent them through the dryer on accident and washed them in hot water. You may not be able to get this full stretch because they may be too tight for you to stretch right here. So if you're wearing yoga pants, being all cute, you might try the stretch again. Just fast forward the video all the way to this part, put on some comfy shorts, like some gym shorts, and see like, oh my gosh, I can get so much further. There's not spandex in my way. Go ahead and take your leg across your body, letting that knee continue to fall open to the side, flexing that foot still. Good. Just think, pigeon on your back. Yep, pigeon on your back. Better than a monkey on your back. Okay, release your foot. Let it go long. Feels so good. Okay, so pillow time. We're coming into Shavasana. You can literally place it right under your knees, and that'll give you a little more support, especially if your low back is kind of gets crunchy. That'll be helpful. Literally take your feet on the ground, untuck your hips, and then place those knees on your pillow. That is completely optional. You can just complete full Shavasana. Ready? Here we go. Close your eyes. Roll the shoulder blades underneath you. Big inhale. Exhale, just relax more into that floor. Become super heavy. Let those feet flop open to the side. Inhale. Relax your face. Relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Take one more inhale and exhale, just really sink into the floor here. Let it go completely. Find the stillness. When you're ready, bending those knees, taking that pillow out of the way, roll over onto one side. And go ahead and come up to seated position. On your pillow or not. Good. Just roll your shoulders back. You can take one of those two. Big inhale. Some audible something. Big inhale. Exhale, make some noise. Good. Smile. Giggle if you want. Take your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I have a light inside me, and it acknowledges that there's also light inside you, which is the meaning of Namaste. Thank you for practicing, everyone.